Hello, I'm Jash, and welcome back finally to Jash Reads. Yay! Oh my god, this is amazing! Okay, let's see, get the chat all set up. Now, what is Jash Reads? Because it's, again, it always seems to be a while. I think spent a few Jash Reads episodes going, oh yeah, I'll release the next one sooner, I hope, and, But anyways, Jash Reads is a series where we read books cover to cover and discuss them chapter by chapter. We also, as you can see, build stuff in Minecraft, and right now we have been spending definitely all of book 13, maybe we spent a little of book 12 renovating this. I remembered what it was called, now I fucking forgot, so yay! But yeah, we build and we read. Okay, let me finish getting set up here. And we're going to look at the next room to renovate. And just going with the vibes. Yeah. Let's see, which way have we actually renovated? Okay, this has been renovated. Oh, hello. That has been renovated. Okay, next room. Okay, there's stairs, but we still want to look around. We might have actually touched this room before because, yeah. That ceiling I don't think would originally be there. I don't think the soul torches would either. Okay. Yeah, it's been a good week. I've tried some medication. I found that I did not agree with it, so... Oh, I still have the old map? Shit. Nice. Actually, let's look at this old map here. It's been a while because I started this going, it'll be funny if, I do the dramatic reading and I'm interrupted by fights with mobs. Okay. Nice. I was sort of worried about that. Anyways, I tried some medication, did not agree with me. Long story short, yeah, it was medication for migraines, and me and it were not friends in the least bit, so yeah. Oh, there's a little place here. Ooh, little secret place. We need a bonfire. We need a bonfire here. That's exactly what this place is. Yeah, and let's see, this week I was thinking about pushing back this particular dramatic reading until tomorrow. Just because I'm like, what if there's a good movie to see? There was not a movie that honestly interests me this week. There was the new Marvel movie came out, but I was like, I had already spent an extra day practicing I honestly did not want to add, another delay in the dramatic reading for that reason, so I was like, if it was a movie I was excited to see or interest me a little bit more, I would have, but it's, another Marvel movie. And I have Disney Plus, so I can, just wait until that comes onto streaming. Okay, this looks nice and mysterious here. Yuck. Oh, I'm just looking at some stairs. Like. Ta-da! The movie I am super excited about that's coming out this month. I was going to say this week, but I'm like that. That's hoping for, too much. The movie I am super, super psyched about is, of course, the latest Final Destination movie. Now, does have the subtitle of Bloodlines, which is, it's one of those horror subtitles that means the movie's going to suck. It's not really going to be that good. Just keep your expectations lowered. But then with a Final Destination, where the whole thing is about death and, sort of happens to everyone, being called Bloodlines is like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to be a A+ movie. But I like the series a lot. I'm a huge fan of the series. Not a huge fan, just because I know how some of the crazy fans can get. So I know I should not add myself to that rank. But I really, really do like the series. Plus, this is going to be Tony Todd's final film. I'm going to get rid of all this carpet here, and then we'll actually start the actual meat and bones of the dramatic reading. So it's going to be, anyway, Final Destination Bloodlines is going to be Tony Todd's final film, and I tend to just refer to him as Candyman, so when I was saying, hey, Candyman's going to be in Final Destination Bloodlines, yay, he's back, Brian, my hubby, was a little confused because he's like, wait, Candyman's in it? Because he's thinking the character, and I'm like, oh shoot, sorry, the actor. There's just some actors that I can't really always remember their name, so I just go with the character I most remember them for. Like Jack Quaid, me and Brian sometimes just refer to him as Huey, because that's his character in The Boys. Off of creative, I would not go after a creeper like that because I do not have good enough timing. Oh, fuck. Tobias, you gonna come down here, brah? Good? Good? Okay, we're good. Okay, good. We got through the hole. I'm like, oh, that's good. I just missed falling through the hole. Let me go a little closer to see. Doink. I am not the smartest person alive. Oh, and for dramatic readings, instead of doing live on Twitch twice, both in the same day, I'm going to do one day and another dramatic reading the other, so yay. Okay, let's go back here. Oh yeah, now we can see this. This is like one of the first things we worked on here. That's why you hear all the flopping of the wings. There's that there. Okay, let's check out this. Now, the top floor seems just to be a library. Neat. We're gonna have to nerd that shit up. Anyways, for now, let's get comfortable and get this dramatic reading underway. Yay! Oh my god! Woo! Oh, I never mentioned what book we're going to be reading today. We are going to continue to read Animorphs number 13, The Change by K.A. Applegate. Okay, let's get the Kindle all opened. Okay, actually let's change the brightness. I thought that was good before. Oh, maybe one more. I'm gonna be really picky. Okay, this is good. This is good. So, okay, stretch. Here we are, reading chapter 21. Oh god, I just looked at how much time I spent on the intro and oh jeebus. Anyways, don't get distracted. Anyways, here is chapter 21 of Animorphs number 13 by K.A. Applegate. I flew. I'd only been without my wings for a few minutes, but still I felt weirded out. I mean, I know the others are used to being in different bodies, but I'm not. I peered ahead with my hawk sight. I saw no helicopters. I did see a few shaking treetops. Large beasts were moving beneath those trees, taxons and Hork-Bajir. I flew on and soon saw the tail end of the Yeerks search army. Human controllers. Their human bodies were wearing out, staggered up the hill. Ahead of them, Hork-Bajir warriors. They were stronger and faster than the humans. Their surgeons had to keep holding them back so they wouldn't leave the human controllers behind. And out in front of them all, the taxon trackers continued their search. I flew hard and fast, and then, at last, I saw the helicopters. They were low to the ground. They were spread out in a line abreast, and unless I was totally mistaken, they were past where my friends would be. I felt a chill of fear. I knew what they were going to do. This time, it wasn't the Elmas telling me what would happen. It was my own predator's instincts. I knew my friends were being hunted, and I knew how the Yeerks would do it. The helicopters were a mile away, maybe a little more, so I heard nothing of them. But as I watched, I saw the sudden red spear that shot down to the ground. Again and again and again, the helicopters fired their blazing dracon beams down at dry trees and even drier underbrush. They were starting a forest fire. Within minutes, a wall of smoke was advancing through the trees. The wall of smoke had to be a mile long, end to end. It would block Jake and Rachel and the others. It would stop them and turn them back toward the waiting taxons and Hork-Bajir warriors. As I watched, a flutter of pale brown, some bird escaping the flames. A stab of red. The bird flamed and burned in midair. Had it been one of my friends in Morph? What am I supposed to do? I yelled at the Elmist. This is impossible. I can't stop those helicopters. Are you just going to stand by and do nothing? There was no answer. I was not surprised. As Axe had said, the Elmis was playing his own games. He didn't care if I thought it was fair. I dropped down below treetop level to avoid getting draconed myself. The wind wasn't as strong down in the trees, but I had the worst problem of having to dodge branches. And then, just a glimpse below me, a pale blue deer with a scorpion's tail. Axe! Axe! It's me, Tobias! Hello, Tobias? Axe said as calmly as if nothing were happening. Where is everyone? They are nearby. We seem to be in a trap. No kidding, I said. Then, aiming my thought speak at all my friends, I said, everyone keep your heads down. Don't try and fly or anything. The Yeerks are shooting anything that rises above the trees. I came to rest on a rotting log. I was so exhausted, I almost missed my landing and crashed. A huge brown bear about the size of a minivan came lumbering up. Rachel, I really hope that's you, because I've had all the close calls I can stand for one day. It's me, Tobias. Chill. Take a rest. We figure we have maybe 5 minutes before this whole thing closes on us. The two Hork-Bajir appeared, accompanied by Jake and his tiger morph. Cassie and Marco came running from the direction of the helicopters. Cassie's thick gray fur was singed. I could smell the reek of burned hair. More helicopters coming up to join those three, Marco reported. Oh, hi Tobias. There you are. I figured you'd flown off to somewhere safe. I decided not to take offense. I was just too tired to care what Marco said. Jake, there's no way around that wall of fire, Cassie said breathlessly. No, Yeerks, Charhami said fearfully. Charhami and Ken Hallpack free. We'll have to fight, Rachel said. We go straight at those Taxons, blow past them, catch the Hork-Bajir by surprise. No problem, we can... She stopped. Even she didn't believe what she was saying. They won't stop till Jara and Ket are dead, Jake said flatly. Yeerks are not going to give up. They're flat out never going to allow two Hork-Bajir to escape. Guess it would set a bad example, Marco said, but he wasn't making a joke. If two get away, who knows? Maybe others will try. The Yeerks can't allow that. They need the Hork-Bajir to be without hope. They need them to be convinced there's no way out. Marco is right, Cassie said. Look at the risks the Yeerks are taking. I mean, geez, they've started a forest fire. They have Taxons and Hork-Bajir all over this forest. They've gone nuts. Charhami and Ken Hallpack free, Charhami said. It was as if he was trying to convince himself. Okay, hang on, I'm just going to take a little sip of Coke. Yum, 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 yum. Okay, am I about to sneeze or am I not? Okay, that was yes. Now back to the story. No. Okay, I'm going to go back a paragraph. And beginning, Charhami and Ken Hallpack free, Charhami said again. It was as if he was trying to convince himself. Okay. Gone. Okay. There, sorry. Do you just not want me to continue? That's the time you decided to go black? Oh, whatever. Okay. Let me go back a paragraph again. Charhami and Ken Hallpack free, Charhami said again. It was as if he was trying to convince himself. Wait a minute, I said. Wait a minute. What you said, Jake? Oh God, what you said? They won't give up till Jar and Ket are dead. Yeah? So? Jake asked. Then I guess he realized what I was thinking. Hey! Rachel has already morphed Jara. Hey, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, I said. At least I think I am. When I was flying, I saw a deep ravine. We should still be able to reach it. It should be perfect. But we'll need Marco and Gorilla Morph. We will? You lost me there, dude, Jake said. But, okay, if you say so, Tobias. Marco and Gorilla Morph. What else? And we need someone to acquire and morph Ket, I said. I'll do it, Jake said without hesitation. No, Jake. Not this time, I said. I'll I'll do it. No one said anything for a good 30 seconds. They just stared. They stared with wolf eyes and bear eyes and tiger eyes and all four Andalite eyes. They were trying to decide if I was crazy. You will? Rachel asked. You will? Yeah, I will. I'll morph Cat. I'll morph a Hork-Bajir. Then Rachel clicked. That Elemist? That's what he did for you? I thought he was going to make you human again. There was an edge of anger in her tone, of outrage. Elemists. Axe practically spit the word. Never trust them. Oh, no. Cassie whispered. That's it? He gave you back the power to morph? But not... No, I said as evenly as I could. Looks like I'm a full member of the team again. I can morph, but I guess... I mean... it looks like I'll still be a hawk. I'll be keeping my wings. And that's the end of that lovely chapter. Nothing like having the previous chapter, Tobias nearly gets eaten alive by a raccoon. In this chapter, he thinks one of his friends died. Yay! This book series is for kids, young adults. Yay! Yeah. When I was practicing for this dramatic reading, and I got to the part where Marco was talking about thinking that Tobias had flown away to safety, something seemed a little off about that. Marco is a great strategist. Okay, and get rid of this. And one of his best and worst qualities is seeing the clear line from A to B. Being able to see what needs to be done, no matter how terrible what needs to be done actually is. So it seems strange that someone with that mindset would think that Tobias, someone who's always, complaining about not being in danger with the rest of his friends, someone, who has gotten himself into danger for the sake of, sort of proving to himself that he's not a coward. Like the Animorphs 11, the Forgotten, he didn't have to, get into, what he did, but yeah, so why would Marco think that Tobias would just fly away to safety at this, key moment? That makes, zero sense. So I started to think, oh, he probably thinks that Tobias had died. Because Marco would go, either Tobias would be here, because he's just a, nutcase like that that's not going to, rush away to safety, and would die just, so he didn't have survivor's guilt. So that makes no sense. So he's either here or he's dead. So when Tobias comes and he's like, oh, hi Tobias. I read that as Marco like nearly blurting out, "Oh my god, I thought you were dead." But he's like, "Oh, that would... yeah, I can't say that, so I thought you flew away to safety." Yeah, saved it. Saved it, yeah, that's a suave Marco. I still got in me. And I think Tobias knows what Marco meant. Let me get back to that part in the chapter. Okay. Example. Let's see. I figured you'd flown off to... here. I decided not to take offense. I was just too tired to care what Marco said. Like, you could read that as, oh yeah, he's insulted that Marco thought he would fly away to safety. But Marco doesn't really seem to be in a joking mood, so it's more likely Tobias... Tobias knew that what Marco meant, and so it was like, yeah, I can't focus on the fact that I nearly died. Don't focus on that. Classiest library you ever done see. Okay, we'll get to that later. Let's see. Let's see. I know I wanted to talk about something other than Tobias revealing to the group that he has the power to morph. Oh yeah, let's just, just talk a little bit about the fact that, well... that as Tobias is, flying back frantically to the group... Okay, yeah, that's a much better topic. Anyways. Sorry. Thinking out loud. But, anyways, when he's flying back, he keeps on mentioning, "Oh my god, I was out without my wings for a little bit. Jeebus, that was scary. That was really horrifying." It's sort of showing that Tobias really thinks of himself more as a bird than an actual person. He's still a person, but thinking of himself more as a bird than a human. And the Elmist was able to see that, but Tobias, was not. He got trapped as a hawk for a reason. That was because he had these glasses on telling him that, oh hey, the grass must be greener on the other side where I'm a hawk and I don't have to worry about, all these troubles that I have as a human. Like, if I am a bird, then all these troubles will, just magically go away. And now he's thinking, oh, if I was a human, I'd feel much better. But the truth is, with how he reacts to being, without his wings for just a little bit, it really is sort of like... showing that he really is much more. Oh gosh, wrong button. Is much. He sees himself as a hawk and not a person and not a human being. It's just he hasn't consciously really reflected on that fact, which is a-okay because he is a teenager. And having all these deep thoughts about, you know, your identity can honestly take a little bit. Did I just see an Enderman? All places to like meditate here. And so he sees himself as, you know, yeah, let's not cover that extensively. So, anyways, when he finally returns to the group and he's like, yeah, I figured out this awesome plan, and I'm going to morph, and it's like, awkward. Where it takes like a few moments for everyone to go, oh, the Elemist, yeah. Lay in this room. Like everyone's reaction, like Rachel reacts first. I wonder honestly if Cassie had sort of figured it out that the Elmist was actually going to get, when Tobias said he's going to give me what I want, if she had figured it out, because she is extremely smart in that regard. Okay, now I can get to what I need to. Okay. Okay, but that's... yeah, I think that's going to go finish the discussion portion. So... let's see. Good question. Good question for this. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, is it the fact that this chapter's not as messed up as the last chapter that I'm having trouble with the question? Whew. Let's see, let's see. Let's see about this. Let's see. Okay, here's the question. If you were an Animorph And you had heard Tobias say, oh, the illness is going to make me a human. How would you have reacted during this chapter where he comes back and he's like, oh yeah, my morphing power is back? How would you feel? Now, comment down below, let me know. Also, feel free to ask me anything about, what happened in the chapter. Just please remember that I am hoping against hope that people get into the Animorphs series via these videos, so, please, no major spoilers. Little spoilers, okay, but major ones, no. Let's get some villagers here. Also, remember to like, subscribe, follow. That's subscribe. Oh, I'm an idiot. And now we will get on to the very precious links. I think used to do this with like a bunch of my videos, but now it's only to the dramatic reading, so yay! Anyways, first link. Oh, before I get to the links, some of these links are Amazon associate links, which means I get paid a little. So if you buy something via one of those links, I get paid. Oh, I'm still flying there. I was like, wow, I'm running sort of fast over the ground. Anyways, the first of the magnificent links, come on, load, is to buy your very own copy of Animorphs number 13, The Change by Kay Applegate. Animorphs is hands down my favorite series of all time. I was honestly really worried when I started rereading that it would not hold up. When you're like, I had read some. I used to like Piers Anthony when I was growing up. And I reread that, and it was... I just did not like it. I used to, when I was young, love it, because I'm like, oh my god, Xanath's taste shaped like Florida. And, I'm born Floridian, so you know, that was... Yeah. So I reread it and I was like, oh, this is shit. Not the good kind either. I don't know what the good kind of shit would be, honestly, but anyways. I can't really put a toilet in here, can you? Damn. Probably there's a mod or two. Yes. But I reread Animorphs and it held up really good. We're just gonna pretend that this is a toilet. Okay. And we're going to pretend that this is like a sink. Yeah. Yeah. Ta-da! Bathroom. Oh, the next little linky link is to my Twitter. I am Jashikins on Twitter. You know, I'll talk all day and night about Animorphs, but please be aware of the whole no spoilers thing is only for this dramatic reading, because elsewhere, no. I will spoil things, so if you don't want something in Animorphs spoiled, you know, either don't talk to me about it, or just tell me what point of the series you're in, so I, you know what to avoid. So we don't do a very big oopsie. Like, I've had Danny in timeout a little bit before starting this dramatic reading, so yeah, I think everyone's getting antsy about that. Yeah. Besides Animorphs, you can talk to me about anything nerdy. I am currently, you know, playing Stardew Valley, Skyrim, Alan Wake 2, and Oblivion Remastered, so if you have anything you want to tell me about any of those, you know, memes, I love the memes. You know, tips and tricks. No? Actually, well, do I still want people coming up here? Yeah. Let me get all the pots down so I don't end up making a mistake there. Okay, that's good. Okay, now that's good. Again, I am Jashikins on Twitter. And the next link is to to my Patreon. My Patreon helps support these dramatic readings. all my streams, every odd thing I'm doing on my blog, the books I'm releasing, so yay, you know. Actually, we should put a little light up here. Okay, yeah, that's better. That's much, much better. I have 2 tiers currently. A $1 tier and a $5 tier. $1 tier, you get to see my red bubble designs before I release them to the world. Let's see if I can get... Let's see if I can... I just can't figure out how to get down. That's great. Whee! And I actually have just finished the final design in one of my collections, so expect some new designs over the next few days. Put some water in here. Also put some beds, I guess. And the $5 tiers to see the new book covers of book cover. God damn it. So $5 tier is for cover reveal, so you get to see my book covers before anyone else. Yay! Oh shit. How the fuck did that happen? Sponge. So what's different about this one? Let's try this again. I guess we can't do that then. I guess I'll be a space for beds after all. I'll have to keep with that whole watery theme. And the final link will be to my original book series, Kafka's Men, sold on Amazon. My username, my pen name is Jash Kolze, last name Kolze. And it is a slow burning reverse harem series. Let's see if this works out. If not, oh well. And I have, and currently the 8th book in the series is up for pre-order. And I've outlined the 9th book. It's, besides, you know, besides Reverse Harem, I would definitely have to classify it as a Reverse Harem as a dark romance series, especially the 8th book definitely goes somewhere where it's like, okay, yeah, wow, Jash. No? So, let me take one little picture here. Let's go in here. I'm gonna take a good picture easily with this, like, there's the toilet. There's the sink. Well, yeah, that will be it for this dramatic reading. Thank you everyone for watching, and a reminder for anyone watching this live on Twitch that missed out on, you know, the start of the stream, like nearly an hour ago. I'm now not doing 2 dramatic readings a day. I'm doing 1 dramatic reading today and the other dramatic reading tomorrow. So, you know, if you have places to be, things to do, you know, don't worry about having to wait for an hour or so to catch the next dramatic reading live, you know. Yeah. Also, if you are watching this live on Twitch, shortly after I finish this stream, I will be putting the links down below, so woo! So again, thank you all for joining me for this insanity. Thank you also to those of you who have stuck with my YouTube channel, even while I've, you know, sort of changed what and how I do things. You know, streaming a lot more games, doing a lot less dramatic readings. Thank you for staying with me for so long, and until next time, whatever era that may be, goodbye.